The Kestrel Mk II is the newest combat ship coming to Elite Dangerous, and Frontier is positioning it in a very specific role. As part of the Elite Partner Program, I've been given early access to all its variants, and the impression it's left on me is pretty striking, honestly. So let's dive right in. The Kestrel Mk II is being introduced as a swift, agile fighter, and it's one that packs a pretty good wallop at that, especially for a small class ship. Its specs leave little room for doubt on that point. For starters, it carries more hardpoint capacity than any other small ship in the game, and it's not even close. That comes in the form of 3 large hardpoints and 2 medium hardpoints. Yes, you heard that right, this little guy packs the same hardpoint loadout as a Crate Mk II. And there's something special available for those 3 large hardpoints. More on that in just a bit. As for the core internals, again, we're pushing almost medium class loadouts here. Size 5 power plant, thrusters, and power distributor, a size 4 FSD, size 2 sensors, and a size 4 fuel tank. As for the optional internals, we've got a single size 1, 3 size 2s, 1 size 3, 2 size 4s, one of which is a military slot, and a size 5. Round all that out with a very generous 4 utility slots. Alright, so let's take it out for a spin. The first thing you notice when you leave the pad is that this ship feels light and agile. Very reminiscent of an Eagle, but a little more crisp, maybe? It just goes where you point it. And as for straight line speed with the stock thrusters, it reached a top speed of 278 meters per second and a boost of 369. But let's be honest, no one's going to leave this thing with the stock thrusters. And that's where the first Kestrel exclusive module comes in, which is the new Mk II Agile Boost thrusters. These size 5 Class A thrusters have a unique boost feature that greatly increases your maneuverability when you boost. So basically, instead of the boost immediately dumping everything into forward thrust, it amplifies whatever directional thrust you're applying when you hit it. So, if you're strafing or rolling or pitching when you mash the boost, that movement will be exaggerated first before the ship transitions into full forward boost. And it's pretty noticeable. In fact, after 5 grades of dirty drive engineering, it bordered on the ridiculous. Now, look, I will be the first to tell you, I am not a top-tier dogfight pilot, and I don't pretend to be. I can hold my own against lower and mid-level AI pilots, but I'm not going to be walking away alive against any elite-level PvPers out there. So, what stood out for me personally, this new boost mechanic doesn't require you to be one of those elite pilots to benefit from it. Even at just a competent level, it really helps you maintain position on your opponent, and even better, allows you to get out of a bad position more easily. But, for all you crazy good pilots out there, it's scary to think what you FA off-flying psychos are going to do with this thing. On the other hand, if you're in a medium-sized ship up against a decent combat pilot in a Kestrel, you're going to have a hard time getting it off your tail, much less in a decent position to be able to land any kind of damage on it. And if you're in a large ship, just go ahead and start getting your rebuy together. Speaking of combat, let's talk about that other Kestrel-specific module, and that's the new Mk II Plasma Shock Accelerator. It's a plasma-based weapon, which means it's equally effective against both shields and hull. What's also interesting is that it uses your ship's fuel supply as ammo, so there's no extra ammo needed to restock on. Worth noting, it's fixed mounted only, and can only be mounted on the Kestrel's 3 fuselage mounts, which do give it great convergence. Being fixed only, this does put emphasis on pilot skill. So if you're good with something like shard cannons or railguns, this thing could be a nightmare to anyone you go up against. Because holy cow, these things melt shields in seconds flat, and they shred hulls almost as quickly. Now, they are power hungry. With a 5A power distributor and 4 pips to weapons, you'll get 4 or 5 volleys off before you're waiting for recharge time. However, 5 grades of weapons-focused engineering can almost double that. So, if you're a good pilot, that 1 capacitor cycle might be all you need to take out most small and even some medium ships. But again, if you're proficient with maintaining rear position against bigger ships, it's basically just a matter of time. Now, the trade-off for all this capability is that, being a small frame, The Kestrel isn't a ship that's going to be able to sit there and trade blows for very long. Your survivability in this thing is based on movement and positioning, not hull strength and shields. All that being said, flying around in the fully kitted Stellar variant was a blast. After you get used to the insane amount of maneuverability of this thing, throwing it around in a combat zone was a hell of a lot of fun, even for a C student pilot like myself. And I'll throw one more thing out there that came to mind. The Kestrel could be a crazy good AX fighter in the right hands. Heat management is going to be the biggest hurdle, but I'm sure some creative builders can solve that problem. And with the Kestrel's crate-level hardpoint capacity and otherworldly agility, I bet it could fly some mean cold circles around any interceptor. Overall, the Kestrel packs a ton of capability into a very small frame. If you're an elite FA-off style duelist, I think this ship has serious potential in your hands. But even if you're a middling pilot like me, while it won't magically turn you into a PvP monster, the Kestrel will absolutely give you the tools not just to succeed in combat, but to sharpen your piloting along the way. So, what do you think? Are you planning on picking up a Kestrel? After you hit those like and subscribe buttons, let me know down in the comments. And as always, Commanders, fly dangerously, and I'll see you next time.